Hi everyone! I am very happy that video, which I published a couple of days ago, about Instagram profiles of my favorite colorists, some of my favorite colorists, was very well received by you, and you discovered for yourself some of the new names. But I realized that I follow so many talented people that it's a pity that I hadn't included a lot of talented colorists in my first video. So I made second series. When I don't feel very creative, when I can't find any strengths inside of me to start new project, or when I simply not sure about how to start new difficult project, I always go to those Instagram profiles and they always help me to be much more creative and they inspire me immensely. So let's start with Anna. When I need inspiration for coloring portraits, I always go to Anna's profile. I especially love this one. It's from Nocturnes by Anastasia Koldareva, I believe. She also has a lot of works in Tomislav Tomic, in Kirby Razanes, but for me, I always go if I want to look at beautifully colored faces, at skin tones, at hair. She also is not afraid to draw something on the background to add something from herself. And of course, I love that Anna uses mixed media, so we can see that several backgrounds are watercolors, then a lot of work, a lot of shading with pencils, and this is one of my favorite pictures. It's from the coloring book by Katerina Bobarykina, and it will be exactly my next Instagram profile. Katerina is an artist behind two coloring books, Etna Spirit and Spirit of the Past, but she is also extremely talented and again, if I need to inspiration how to color portraits, I always go to Katerina. By the way, she started to sell her individual pictures on Etsy, so if you wanted to try coloring her portraits, but delivery from Russia was quite expensive for two of her books, you can try to go to her Etsy. But let's see at some of her works. I love what she does in her books, but I also love what she does in Hannah Carson's books. And sometimes portraits which I can see, they are almost unrecognizable. Look at this beauty. I love everything here. It's a wonderful skin tone, wonderful hair, and of course, the change of the initial picture. It's almost impossible to believe. I also love how she works in Maria Trolle book. For me, it's quite difficult. Look at this one. I would say that it's the most beautiful example of this page I've ever seen. For me, it wasn't very inspiring picture and I hadn't colored it myself yet. I don't have any ideas, but Katerina's portrait is absolutely amazing, from the background to the butterfly, so I highly recommend if you need inspiration in portraits, go to Katerina. Next we travel from Russia to France, and for me this page is a simply miracle what is possible to do from Johanna Basford books and especially Ivy. I already mentioned hundreds of times how difficult for me is to color in Johanna's books, but when I go here on this page of Lori, I would say that it's unbelievable. I love her strong color schemes. For me, they are quite unusual. You know that I love bright and strong colors, and Lori also uses them a lot, but she has such an amazing feeling of color. She combines such colors which I would never have idea to try together. So for some of the beautiful works in Johanna Basford and Maria Trolle, go to Lori's profile. And we are moving back to Russia. Elena Bortasova is so talented that I simply don't have words. I simply will show you some of her portraits, but she is very talented in everything. Backgrounds, drawing something from herself, amazing feeling of colors, amazing capacity to draw various surfaces, various elements, but most of all, I adore her skin tones. She used various color schemes, from fantasy skin tones to the very realistic, but all of her works are so full of light that she is definitely one of my most favorite colorists, and it's a pity that I forgot to include her in the previous video, but I hope that you will love her works just like I love them. She is an amazing source of inspiration for me. It will be interesting to count how many times I said the word inspiration in this video. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. It's from Anastasia Koldareva, but for me it's amazing art of work by itself. It's such a high level of coloring. It's like original painting of professional artist. Some elements from herself, so skillfully masked black lines. So I adore absolutely everything. Very creative backgrounds, very interesting colors. I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video that just like in the first part, all the names of Instagram profiles will be down in the first attached comment, so for you it will be easier to go and to look better at all those beautiful works. And we are moving to profile of Katerina. And we are moving to the beautiful page of Katerina. I love Katerina's profile because she has very strong sense of color again, but it's very close to my heart. She also loves to use bright and interesting color combos, and on her page I saw one of the best looks of this very popular image from Clara Markova book. For me it's definitely the best I've seen. She is very good at doing fantasy backgrounds, at coloring skins, so profile page is very versatile. She is very talented in everything. Catalina has great shading skills. If you look at all the details, at all the shadow, at all nice contrast between highlighted and shadow areas, it's absolutely perfect, and it's another point which I always try to learn from Katerina. And in the end, let me show you this page. For me, it's a masterpiece. You know that I love this book. It's Dream Dancers by Lenka Filonenko, and it's probably the most beautiful picture from it I've ever seen. It's interesting how we are moving between countries today, and we are going to Sweden. Oh, Reka is already received her copy of The Midnight Masquerade by Hannah Carlson, and I go to her profile if I need to remind myself that sometimes pencils require patience, and with delicate shading and layering you can achieve amazing works. I also love her idea of frames. Probably it was where I got also, I realized how beautifully it looks, and after that I also started to add them. And I also tried to learn from her profile that using limited amount of colors but with very skillful shading also looks absolutely gorgeous. So it's not obviously you need to add some strong backgrounds or some fantasy dots or spots of paint. Sometimes just with pencils, with carefully layering, mixing close colors, but doing contrasts and light highlighted and shadow areas, you can achieve absolutely magical results. I love how attentive she is to all the details, and I also was very grateful that sometimes she also have shown us some of her tips and tricks of shading and layering. It was very interesting, and it's definitely helped me to remind that pencils really need patience. Another page where I go if I feel tired of a very bright and strong colors. It's page by Anya. She did a lot of works in Johanna Basford, in Tomislav Tomic, and all her color combos are beautiful, but I also would say that in the same time they are vintage looking, they are slightly muted, and it's what created her unique style. Just look at this amazing image and all those mosses and butterflies. Everything is a little bit dark, but in the same time with very strong color combos. Also a lot of warm colors even in winter pictures, and it was also a very nice lesson which I tried to learn from Anya's page. I especially love her works in Sagar och Zagner and other books by Emily Lindehol Oberg. Look how amazingly she creates light in her pictures. Very beautiful color combos, orange, golden, and deep indigo blue, or dark green on other pages. And of course, a lot of beautiful works in Tomislav Tomic. If you look at the works at the next page, you would never say that the source was coloring book with black lines. Here with Cherry Lee we have paintings. They don't look like pictures from coloring book. She has such an amazing skills so that I'm simply speechless. I will simply let you look at her works in Kanoka Yeguza, in Apple Girl, and look at this light in all of her pictures, and look at all those wonderful backgrounds. If you look closer, there are so many small color accents, color details. I was so surprised when I looked this one. You probably remember this picture. It's from Johanna Basford, but it's very difficult to recognize it in the finished painting. It's absolutely magical. And it's great that Cherry Lee has shown beginning of her work. I would love to see process how she created this effect of the magical light inside of the in the central part, and in the same time dark contrasts near the sides of the picture. But anyway, it's a magic for me how it was possible to transform initial original painting into this one. She also created absolutely amazing pictures in Ivy. I would love to see finished completed book by Cherry Lee. I would say that it definitely needed to be published like book for children and even for adult readers. Look at this one. It's one of my favorite spreads in Ivy, and I always was afraid to color it, and Cherry Lee created beauty from it. Also a lot of amazing botanical paintings. I can't call them colorings, they are real paintings. And as I said, I love to look at how many details she added. It's probably hundreds of hours of work. All those color transitions, subtle color changes on the background. It's absolutely amazing. Original picture of this one from Maria Trolle for me was absolutely uninspiring, but here it's like a picture from fairy tale. I love everything here. soft colors, shading, beautiful botanical elements. I would let you look without my babbling. Just let me tell once more that it's one of my favorite profiles. Every time when I look at her works, I always try to tell myself to be maybe more patient and more slow in doing pictures. You know that I love to mask black lines, but to do it on such level, it's impossible to imagine. And very similar thing I can find in profile of Barbara. She also convert coloring books into masterpieces, into paintings. Amazing color schemes. It's probably one of the most original looks of this page. It's very popular from Kanoko Yagusa. This one, it's absolutely gorgeous, like paintings of Dutch masters. Barbara has amazing feeling of light and shadow, and one of the most interesting things I've ever seen is this her start of this very gorgeous Halloween picture by Kanoko Yagusa. But she started in very interesting way. She did all shading. She showed all highlighted and shadow areas, and only then she started to add color. It's amazing idea, very creative, and the final result is also beautiful. When I look at pictures on such a level, I am so proud what coloring community was able to achieve, what people are doing from simple coloring books. I would say that it definitely already on the level on very professional art. I just want to repeat once more that all these pages, all those amazing colorists, they are very helpful, very great source of inspiration. It was last time when I said it. So great source if I need to maybe change something in my own art, to get some creative idea, to look at the old books at some new level, to be inspired by color palettes, to remind myself that sometimes with pencils you can do beautiful works, or to remind myself that sometimes you need to be more creative and to add more from yourself and not to be afraid to convert initial pictures into your own arts. I hope that you liked these pictures, and just look at this cutie, which is the final picture for today. Barbara's cat is so nice with those blue eyes. So I hope that you liked all these pictures also. All the links will be below, and maybe I will do next series because I have such a huge list of subscriptions. Sorry for my grammar and pronunciation today. When I am excited, I always tend to forget about all rules. I thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon.